We have looked at how communities respond to disasters. Now we'll learn how the American Red Cross carries out its mission to relieve human suffering caused by disaster by helping people mend the tears in the fabric of their lives. The Red Cross has had a long history of disaster response, starting with Clara Barton, who expanded our mission from serving those involved in military conflicts to those affected by natural disasters. Clara Barton's passion for helping people continues today. Each year, the Red Cross responds to more than 70,000 disasters, including house fires that actually make up over 90% of all Red Cross disaster responses. Whether it's house fires, the epic hurricane season of 2005, the Oklahoma City bombing, or events of September 11, 2001, the mission of the American Red Cross is carried out in communities across the nation every day.
I think about part of our mission statement says we help people prevent, prepare, and respond to disaster.
The fundamental principles of the American Red Cross, which were defined at the 1965 20th International Conference of the Red Cross, are applied when we respond to every disaster. These 7 principles guide our actions. We live them day to day as we serve those in need.
Everybody needs help. We all need to be helping each other as a community. Some people need to be acting consciously with those principles in mind.
The principle of humanity states that we endeavor to prevent and alleviate human suffering wherever it may be found. We protect life and health and respect every human being.
When we're thinking about providing service to those in need and cultural diversities, obviously we think of the language, but we also really need to be a lot more open-minded and think about them and how they live, their styles, their preferences.
For me, our pastor, David Valentine, when the evacuees came in on the buses, we had 9 buses from New Orleans that came from the Superdome, and they had been on the bus ever since they left. They pulled up out front about 1:30 in the morning, and he got on each bus and told them, I know that you're scared, I know you've been through a lot, but you're coming into a completely safe environment.
The principle of impartiality states that the Red Cross makes no discrimination as to nationality, race, religious beliefs, class, or political opinions.
One of the important fundamentals to me that I've seen at the Red Cross that really takes an impact on my life is impartiality. And the fact that, they don't have a barrier in nationality, race, or religious belief, or even politics. What that does is to open up to the whole human race.
The principle of neutrality states that in order to sustain the confidence of everyone we serve, we do not take sides in hostilities or engage in political, racial, religious, or any other controversy.
In order for the American Red Cross to carry out its mission, it's important that our volunteers, our paid staff, and most importantly, the people who we serve in disaster understand and appreciate and believe that all they need in order to come to us is to be in need of disaster relief or some form of assistance, and that is without regard for race, color, age, sex, orientation, national origin, religion, any of those kinds of categories we will not view in any way as a means to keep people out from receiving services from us.
The principle of independence states that we maintain our autonomy so we can act at all times in accordance with our mission, principles, and values. We are not a government agency or funded by the government.
It's important that people who work with us understand that we are truly an independent agency. There is an erroneous perception out there that we are an arm or a part of the federal government, and we are not. We are really a nonpartisan organization, and we are set up that way purposely so that no one feels that because of their political affiliation or any other constraint that we are not able to provide services without regard to any kind of boundary. And so in order for us to do that effectively, then we must proclaim and fiercely defend our independence as an organization.
Probably no principle is more associated with the Red Cross than voluntary service. For we are a voluntary relief movement. We are people helping people.
Voluntary service is one of the fundamental principles for the Red Cross, and that has something that has always been part of our family values. My mother, I remember seeing a picture of her rolling bandages right here in Chinatown for the Red Cross during World War II.
In any disaster, especially the large ones, when we know there are so many people affected and so many needs, there is always also a lot of other people who aren't affected that want to help. And we have an excellent opportunity through American Red Cross Disaster Services to allow, if you will, a lot of other people as volunteers to get into service.
The fundamental principle I embrace the most is voluntary service. Through our partnership between the American Red Cross and AmeriCorps, I've had the opportunity to spend a year volunteering with the Red Cross.
The last two principles are global in nature. The principle of unity states that there can only be one Red Cross or Red Crescent Society in any one country, and that it must be open to all people.
We want to have people understand that we are really one Red Cross, and that's whether we're operating here in the United States or whether we are supporting our sister organizations around the world. We believe that in order to function effectively, we want to train people from Maine who can work in California, people in Oregon who could work in Florida, people from Michigan who could work down in the Gulf states. And in order to be able to do that, we want to have people who are culturally competent. And we are putting an increased emphasis on that as we move the organization further into the 21st century.
Unity makes it all possible. Everyone working as one, delivering the services, and living the mission through the Red Cross makes their work possible in the community.
The principle of universality states that all the National Red Cross and Red Crescent societies have equal status and share equal responsibilities and duties in helping each other worldwide.
There are, of course, other Red Cross organizations around the world, and we go to their aid just as they come to our aid. Examples would be the tragedies of September 11th. Many other Red Crosses around the world came to our aid, and so there has to be a fundamental belief in the principles of how we operate so that we can support our sister organizations all over the world.
As part of the Red Cross, these 7 principles will guide your decisions in responding to disasters, large or small, next door or around the globe.